What's happening, y'all? This is DC Paul, the Millennial Arsenio, and you're watching the Misbelief Living Room Session. Living Room Session! Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. And we're back. We're here with Millennial Mayoral candidate Hashim Walters. What up, Hashim?
What's going on?
How you doing, man? Welcome to my living room.
Good.
This is India Mac. Probably met her before, right?
Nice to meet you.
And my homie Martin Bass
What's
Bradford.
going on, man?
Doing good.
Welcome to DC's living room.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's nice, man. It's nice, bro.
So, you comfortable?
I'm comfortable, man. I'm good.
Dope. Question number one. You know what a misbelief is?
Misbelief, I don't. It's
Really?
elaborate.
Well, what part of the city did you grow up in?
Westbank.
Okay.
Well, the best bank.
All right. So, I'm not sure what they were called on the West Bank, but in April, these little Chinese plums, they fruit on trees. I think you've probably seen them before. Some people call them loquats or japonicas.
Yeah.
Japanese plums, you know what it is?
Right on our logo.
Yeah, right down the logo.
And they grow on shirt.
Okay, you call them
shirt
japanicas? You call them japanicas?
Yeah, Japanicas.
You do? Okay. You have any childhood stories about those?
Yeah, they actually grew across the street from my grandmother's house. And so we would always go pick them after school and eat some Japanicas up in Japan.
Whose house was that?
That was actually, from what I remember, that was my high school football coach's childhood home.
Okay.
Yeah, and they had a Japanica tree.
Nice.
We'd always go and eat Japanica.
That's your misbelief story. That's what's up, man.
That's crazy.
Dope. All right, so we got some questions. The people want to know some things about you, man. We want to know first and foremost, very important question. Do you eat your red beans and rice with a spoon or a fork?
Oh man.
Choose your words wisely now, because whether you win or not could depend on what you say.
With a fork.
I'll allow it. I will allow it. Interesting. Okay, we got the hard one out the way.
Yeah, out the way.
First of all, thanks again for doing this interview, man. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you very much. So hundreds of millions of dollars are necessary to repair streets in the city. I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah.
What is your plan to repair and maintain the streets of New Orleans, and how would you pay for it?
So infrastructure in New Orleans has definitely been an issue that's been here for years, for decades. And streets have definitely been one of the main priorities here in New Orleans.
Have they?
Definitely. Well, one of the things that's been on the top of the list.
Okay.
But we have money in the budget that's allotted for the infrastructure. So what we have to do is make sure that we have a proper plan to actually get that money allocated right. So that goes toward that segues to actually working with the city council to figure out which streets actually need to be fixed, which streets are the priority, what potholes are the priority. So definitely, as the mayor, I really want to work with the city council to figure out how we can develop a fast process to get streets repaired and these potholes repaired.
Fast sounds nice, man, but effective. An effective process.
Yeah.
Super important.
Effective, man. Fast.
What you got, Miss Mac?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good.
And I'm also a mother of two, so education is really important. And I know that 47% of public school funding comes from local taxes, local taxes. And I'm wondering, how do you plan on distributing those funds with the entire city being charter now? Is it going to be based on per pupil, based on the need per district? What are your thoughts on that?
Definitely. So for me, as the mayor, we only have so much control over how money is allocated for the school system. The school board definitely has a big hand in that. They control the school board here in New Orleans, and they decide a lot of the things that go on as far as Orleans Parish School Board. And but the charter schools definitely have they're under their own jurisdiction as well. But I truly believe that we have to use that money to make sure that all the schools are on an equal playing field. That's something that's really been a problem in New Orleans. A lot of people have felt that the schools aren't on an equal playing field, and we have to make sure that each school has a good amount of money, and that every child has the ability to get a great education.
Okay.
So you feel like that's lacking right now?
I do. I feel like that's lacking right now. Like you said, we're under the charter school system, so charter schools definitely have the ability to allocate money the way they want to. But there's got to be some way we can all come to a consensus and figure out ways that all of our children can get an adequate education.
Have you identified at least what you think the problem might be?
That's something that I'm still doing research on. It's a very, very integral process, and it's something I'm doing research on every day. I'm talking to.
I would have been skeptical if you knew what the problem was already. I would be like, how you know?
Yeah.
Are you the problem? You must be the problem.
It's probably multi-layered.
It's a complicated
It's
process.
a very complicated process, but like I said, I'm a good listener. So I'm definitely listening to a lot of parents, and I'm definitely talking to a lot of leaders within the community to figure out what's going on. Because education is something that's been on the forefront in New Orleans for decades. Ever since I was a little boy, ever since my mom was a child, and so I feel like in order to move forward, we have to get our education. We have to make sure that our education system is foolproof for our students.
And we're all products of the 1990s New Orleans Public School Board.
Or the 1990s.
Yeah, we're just a little bit older than we look.
Because you saw his eyebrows.
His eyebrows
in the
are- yeah,
1990s.
We went to public school in the 90s, which means we 80s babies. Yeah.
Okay.
So when Hurricane Katrina hit in 2005, you were about 10.
Yeah, 10. Yeah.
Okay.
Katrina.
That means the majority of your perspective on New Orleans has been a post-Katrina New Orleans, right? So when people talk about missing the old New Orleans, do you understand what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Like how? I don't know. That's a broad question. Like how, right? Not like how. I guess from your perspective, how do you assess the changes in the post-Katrina New Orleans versus the pre-Katrina New Orleans?
Definitely. I would say one of the biggest changes from pre-Katrina to post-Katrina now. Definitely, the spirit of the city is coming back, but I definitely miss the camaraderie that neighbors had in their communities, and I think that's something that's really missing here.
I agree.
That's something that really needs to be worked on. But because before Katrina, you would have neighbors who would tell other neighbors about what their kids were actually doing that day. We don't have that anymore.
Right.
So you have a lot of people who may not necessarily understand how New Orleans worked back then, but for the people who are original New Orleanians, it's our job to really show them, okay, this is what we did back in the day, and it worked, and it helped us produce some very great citizens here in the city of New Orleans. So
True that. Bats, what you got?
I'll say, we just a couple of days removed from all this flooding madness.
yeah,
I mean, that's like the hot topic right now. Which pumps weren't working, which pumps are working.
that's what I've heard.
Yes,
That's what I've
indeed.
heard.
Yes,
I've heard
indeed.
that.
So you're gonna hear that a lot coming in as you on this campaign trail. So I want to know what plans do you have to ensure at least get the citizens of New Orleans to feel more secure with their city with the oncoming. We're in right now hurricane season at the moment. So with the oncoming, we're gonna have more storms and such, and we got more panic and such. So what ways do you feel like you can contribute to either whether we're talking about the infrastructure as far as the pumps go, or just getting the citizens to feel safe?
So I think the first thing we need to do, as far as the mayor's office, we need to make sure that we hold the people who are in place at the sewage and water board level to make sure that we hold them accountable. And also I want the citizens to hold me accountable as well when it comes to flooding issues as well. But I want to come up with practical ways and great and feasible ways to solve our flooding problems and our flooding system issues. So what that means that I want to work with a corps of engineers who can develop a great flooding system for our city. As you all know, New Orleans is basically an island. So we definitely have to model our flooding system after flooding systems that have worked in other places.
How do you say that?
Like the Netherlands.
The Dutch have the best.
They have a great irrigation system. So we definitely should look at that model and make sure that we have some engineers who understand that model and help implement that here in New Orleans. I think that's the first step, and making sure that we're prepared for hurricane season at least 3 months before the season actually starts. We need to be prepared in the fall.
True.
So what would you say to people who felt that, I mean, we were told that this pump system is state of the art.
Mm-hmm.
What we have currently is a state of the art
Even
system.
though it's 119 years old. You're aware of that, right?
Yeah.
So what do you say about to those people that assured us after Katrina that we were good?
Mm-hmm.
And now you're saying that, okay, we need to put more times in to get something even better. But like, as a citizen, I would hear that and be like, whatever you're saying, bro.
Yeah.
So how would you assure me to really believe that legitimately that actual change is happening on that front?
Oh, without a doubt. I think the citizens really need to be a part of certain processes here in New Orleans. So whenever we do those updates, I want to go ahead and send the citizens an update through the City Hall website. Okay, we went and checked them. Even if we can do like video updates to show the turbines going, that'd be something great.
That's some millennial
Yeah,
stuff.
that's some millennial stuff. You know, using social media. I mean, everybody has access to social media and showing that, okay, they're working great. We have some engineers working here. They're on the clock, staff. They're doing what they have to do to make sure that people are reassured. Like I said, you know, technology is one of the greatest things that we have here today because it allows us to do so many things, and we should use it to our benefit. And reassuring our citizens is something that we have to do.
Okay. Opinions vary on what types of jobs New Orleans needs.
Yeah.
Right. What's your plan for economic development? Also, do you have a plan for the artists, musicians of the city? Many of them can't afford housing and whatnot, but many of them are the reason why the tourism industry in the city booms so much, right? So economic development and housing.
Definitely. So when it comes to economic development in New Orleans, we have to realize one thing. Okay, we're going to have to take a step into the 21st century. So that means that we're going to have to train our citizens for the jobs that require specific training, like coding, computer engineering, things of that nature. And I also want to bring manufacturing back here to New Orleans. There's a lot of things that we can do. There's actually Tom Benson has a Dixie Brewery opening up. That's plenty of jobs that's opening up. Industries like that can help provide more jobs. I'm also opening up more VOTEC schools in our educational system. Plumbing, welding, beautician school, CNA licenses, barber licenses, and that will eventually create opportunities for our children to actually open up businesses here in New Orleans, small businesses. And I think we should definitely follow the model of Booker T. Washington High School. They were a great VOTEC school, and that's something that we should really model our school system after, I believe.
I like that. Was Booker T a VOTEC school when we were in school?
It was, and they're actually working on it right now. They're bringing it back under a charter, but the focus of the charter is going to be industrial careers. I believe it's industrial careers. They're going to be learning mechanics, auto mechanics, and some other programs. It's a lot of in carpentry. I don't think there's any cosmetology, but there was a cosmetology program.
So, the second part of that question was about affordable housing.
Affordable housing. That's a great question. As we all know, housing in New Orleans, the cost of housing
It's getting ridiculous.
It's getting ridiculous. Property taxes are rising. I'm even being affected by what my mother is. She's being affected by rising property taxes. I think what we have to do, we have to revisit the contracts that we have with those contractors who actually develop mixed income housing. And we have to make sure that they're actually developing housing for people who need affordable housing. We have to revisit those contracts first. And also people who have vacant land, who are just sitting on vacant land here in the city, let's go ahead and rise their property taxes, rise the taxes for them so they can, and it'll force them to build affordable housing for citizens here in the city. And it's something that's very near and dear to me as well because as you can see there's a lot of people who used to live in the inner city, now they're living on the outskirts of the city. And a lot of those people are some of those people are poor. And once you isolate poverty, it can eventually, it will increase crime. It will have an increase of crime once isolate poverty in one specific area. So we can't do that. We have to come up with very innovative ways to create affordable housing here in the city.
So kind of along those same lines, we're here in New Orleans East. You drove all the way out to the east, to my living room to do this, man. So you got a good look at New Orleans East.
I have.
Right. I'm not that deep into the east. If you go a little bit further, it looks a lot different. What's your plan for at least developing the east? Whether it's businesses out here or homes or just maybe even attractions. What you got?
I think one of the biggest attractions in the east that's not here anymore, of course everybody knows, is Six Flags. They've been sitting on that land for a while now. So I think that'll just be one small step to get the east back on track.
Reopening the Six Flags?
Yeah, reopening the Six Flags. That's something that I want to work with the city council on, making sure that we can get that back open.
But it's also only like one grocery store out here is one on Chef.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean that before Six Flags, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think that's one of the main reasons why the population here in New Orleans East is not what it is, because they have to go to Pontchartrain Park to go to Rouse's, or just a little bit further for something basic. We do have a Walmart. We got the Winn-Dixie just opened up on Chef, but I mean, there needs to be more. I've been the East Beast my whole life. So the East is near and dear to my heart, man, and I hate to see it look so neglected.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that we have to do. We have to get more grocery stores here, because there's a good percentage of the city lives here in New Orleans East.
What is the percentage? I never even looked into it.
A good percentage.
A great percentage of black people, especially.
Oh yeah, true that. Yeah.
Straight up and down.
Yeah.
And they're part of the fabric of New Orleans.
But not just grocery stores, man. Just like things that people need to live around. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
There's not a whole lot of it in the East.
Is there a DMV out here?
There's a DMV.
There's a DMV out here. I know we don't have a movie theater. The movie theater been gone.
I know where the movie theater's going.
Is there a mall?
There's no mall. We got a Lowe's and a Home Depot. Jobs and businesses and homes in the East, man. Like, what are your thoughts on that? How we gonna bring it back? How we gonna revive the jungle for the East Beast?
Definitely, and one of the things that we can do is definitely. I know I keep on going back to the city council, but they're a very integral part of this process as well. Working with the council member in District E, whoever it may be, once the election comes up. So we have to come up with a strategic business plan and make sure that the East is a part of plans here in New Orleans. So whenever we have money in the budget to develop certain areas in the city, whether it's infrastructure, roads, whenever the school board decides, okay, how are we going to allocate this money for this year, the East needs to be in that conversation constantly. We have so many wonderful people who live here in the East, and we need to make sure that we have grocery stores for you guys, even entertainment. Like he was just saying that the movie theater is closed down. You guys in the movie theater back here.
Yeah, man. I mean, shout out to Brandon B. Mike Odoms for putting that beautiful mural on the Grand. But I mean, thank you for that mural, by the way. But we could use some entertainment. So you mentioned City Hall quite a few times. This is a question that was submitted by someone on my Facebook. The community as a whole and the city council in particular often disagree on certain subjects. How would you lead the community and the council to work for the good of New Orleans together?
True. So, like I said before, I'm a great listener, and basically with the mayor is the facilitator between the city council and the people. The mayor has the executive decision, and what I'm going to encourage is that the council listen to their constituents very closely. Listen to them very closely. All the demands that they want, all the issues that they have. Make sure that they listen to them very closely. And whenever they have an issue or whenever they need certain money for certain issues, let me know. And we can go and discuss it. And the mayor definitely, the council approves the budget, but the mayor decides, okay, so we have this much money for the budget this year, and so how are we going to split this between the children and families and public safety and everything like that? But what I'm getting to is that the mayor's definitely going to be a great facilitator there in City Hall. And I definitely need to have a great relationship with my city council in order to get things done. It's like the Supreme Court down in Washington, D.C. You have to have a great relationship. The president has to have a great relationship with the Supreme Court in order to get things done, and hear their opinion on things. So I have to hear the opinion of the city council and of the people as well, and I have to make sure that they have good judgment, and have to make sure that I have good judgment as well. So,
could you give us your top 3 points for your platform?
top 3 points:
Yes.
economic opportunities. Education is always on the forefront. So I'm gonna have 4. Public safety, and that's always a hot topic, always. And also affordable housing, what we just discussed here today.
Say public safety. I mean, right now, New Orleans, the police force is on a low turn. The violence is on an upturn again. I mean, they say it's like 350 people have been shot and killed this year. So what are some things? Some people talk about a curfew. Some people, there's so many ideas that are thrown about. But what would be some of your ideas as far as decreasing crime and or, once again, getting people to feel safe in their own city?
I love talking about this. If you've seen lately, a lot of people think that hiring more police officers is going to solve the issue of crime in the city of New Orleans. And I'm going to be honest. That one issue is not going to solve the crime issue.
So glad you said that. Continue.
That one issue is not going to solve the crime issue. That one subject is not going to solve the crime issue in the city of New Orleans. It's just not. So there has to be a multifaceted approach to crime. So one of the things that I want to do as soon as I get in office is lower the hiring age for the police department from 20 years old to 18 years old. And I want to have seniors in high school actually take their code of ethics classes to become a police officer in their senior year. In their senior year. So once they graduate and once they become 18, they'll be accepted into the police academy. And they'll have their training, they'll have the community service hours. I'll talk about that as well, the community service hours. And they'll eventually become a police officer when they're 18. So the average NOPD's officer salary is roughly about $49,000. $49,000. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. We're not going to give them a $50,000 salary right off bat for an 18-year-old. We're going to make sure that they have a $35,000 salary and a $15,000 housing stipend. So that way, but the catch is that they have to live in the city of New Orleans. We want you to be a part of the community. We want you to live in your community. We want you to live in the community that you plan on serving. And so what that does, it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. So we have people from the community who actually know about the people in the community, and a lot more people feel comfortable. And it definitely gives a chance for those kids who are who may have been in the judicial system, who are going to get that second chance to be a part of the solution, and to truly be great citizens here in New Orleans. It's killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So you have people from the community, and you're giving kids a shot, and you're giving them a salary, so they don't have a reason to go do anything illegal. They're going to. So once they reach 20, they're going to have a $50,000 salary.
So as a segue from that, which was like that was incredible. That was incredible. Plan you have there on that. Do you have any thoughts on, and to a degree, healing the culture of the community and the police department? Because I'm just saying, a lot of young folk. It's great that you would advocate lowering the age, but there's some people who don't trust cops, who won't deal with cops, and that's just hot. That's already hot in media. So is there anything that you would have on, just any mindset, just off the top of the dome of healing that relationship?
You know, I talk about this all the time. I love this plan that I have. I talk about this all the time with different officers, just to get their retired officers, to get their opinion on it. And we want to have required community service hours for police officers. When they're in the police academy, when they're in the academy, they have to have a certain amount of hours in their respective districts. And once they get sworn in, they'll have to have even more required hours for 3 months, so they can get to know their communities. Whether it's at NORD, homeless shelters, just any community service hours that deals with the people in your community. And that'll help solve a lot of the issues that people have with trusting the police force.
It's like bringing back walking the beat.
Exactly.
And when police officers were required to live, I think they lifted after Katrina that you were no longer required to stay in Orleans Parish in order to be an NOPD officer. It used to be a requirement. And I'm not sure who handles that decision. Is that a mayoral decision to lift that?
To lift it, so that's something that it probably deals with the city charter. And so I would definitely have to brush up on it. I'm glad I had to brush up on that. But a lot of those decisions dealing with that, the people have to put a vote to it. Most of the time. So that would probably be something that the people would have to put a vote to, more than likely, when it comes to changing things in the city charter, as far as the police department. Most of the time, the people would have to put a vote to that. But that can be something that we can look into without a doubt, and the people will have the decision.
Now, I'm not sure if you're aware, all of us here are performing artists, actors, comedians, stage managers, dancers, and whatnot. How would you encourage the television and film industry to stay here in the metro area?
That's so as you know, New Orleans for years, for the last couple of years, has been known as the Hollywood South. We've had loads of movies shot here, Green Lantern, and I think they even shot some scenes of The Dark Knight here. And
Real Life Terminator was shot here, and I mean,
Right
now you got Queen Sugar. And I feel like there are other shows being shot here, right? But I mean,
New Orleans. We have Claus, that's a big hit on TNT right now. There's a few preachers, there's a few things that are going on.
I've seen this guy on a couple of things, you know.
Okay, good.
That's weird.
So yeah, man, we're trying to keep jobs for people. I'm trying to keep him from moving to Atlanta. I want the film and TV industry to stay here in the metro area, man. What are your thoughts on that?
I think we have to make sure that we have a great tax incentive system here in New Orleans. And so what we have to do is we have to make sure that if the media and TV industry companies are actually getting tax breaks, how are they benefiting the citizens of New Orleans as well? So we need to make sure that when they're here, when they're shooting movies here, we need to make sure that we have some locals who are on those sets as well at that time.
Now, I wish that was something that you could control as the mayor, but you can't.
Yeah, I know. But we can encourage it. We
can encourage it. Incentives.
We can encourage incentives.
Because money always talks.
Exactly.
True that.
We can encourage incentives and, but yeah, definitely. We just have to come up or just advocate for tax incentives, making sure that they're reasonable, making sure that we get the best deal, make sure that our citizens get the best deal as well, because we want the TV and film industry to be here with the Hollywood South.
Yeah, we do want it. Yeah, we need it.
Yeah, it's a great industry.
We're gonna wrap this interview up. Won't you tell us something personal that the people don't know about Hashim Walters?
Personal.
I mean, you gotta get too personal.
Yeah.
You gotta get too personal. I don't want to know all that, but I mean, there's something that the people would be surprised to know about Mr. Hashim Walters.
I'm a very, very avid, hip hop fan. I love hip hop.
Oh, come on, you're 22, man. I feel like they could have guessed that.
Yeah,
come on, give us something that we couldn't have guessed. What you got?
Better.
How many kids?
Something very personal.
You ain't got to get that personal, but just something that the people would be surprised to know.
That they'd be surprised
Yeah, man.
to know.
Humanize yourself.
Humanize.
Damn, Hashim.
I'm trying to think, something that I really love.
Or that you've done, an experience that you had that people might not think you would ever do. Jumped out of a plane.
Jumped out of a plane. Well, I would say this. I've always loved a lot of people. I've always loved the New Orleans hip hop industry, even back in the '90s with Master P and Soulja Slim, and I really liked how they were a part of their communities. I love one of my favorite songs is Mr. Ice Cream, man.
Come on now,
Master P. The beat was crazy, man. But Master P was just one of those pioneers for the city of New Orleans, and I just love his style, man. Encouraged me to wear Saints jerseys and.
Are you finna say you rap?
Oh,
is that what we surprised? Hashim got bars, huh?
Hashim got bars.
I'm gonna put you on the spot because we trying to get you these votes. And if you ain't good, we don't know what it's gonna turn out. Okay.
Yeah, but he definitely encouraged. He definitely brought New Orleans' style to the country. He definitely put New Orleans on the national level. And I just love what he did. Cash Money as well.
Did you go to Essence Fest?
I did.
You saw the reunion?
I saw the reunion.
I ain't gonna ask you how it was. We were there. We got our own opinion about it,
But
man.
we will say this, that the ambitious nature of the spirit of New Orleans is, we can say that had to influence you, whether you say from Cash Money or Master, because look, you, like, just like they told P what he doing was something that was impossible. Apparently, you've been hearing that a lot.
Exactly.
You feel me?
You've
been hearing that a lot, and you still pushing forward and representing. So that's admirable. Definitely.
Yeah, man, absolutely, Hashim, man. Regardless of how this election turns out, I know already that you are you're gonna be a name in the political sphere of New Orleans, and we're gonna be hearing from you for years to come, bro.
Oh yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
already know it. I'm speaking it for you. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
in.
you for having me.
Man, this has been the first Misbelief Living Room Session. Living Room Session, yeah, with mayoral candidate Hashim Walters. Thanks again, man. Hey, tune in. I believe this Saturday we got Miss Latoya Cantrell coming to sit here on my sofa in my living room. She's gonna answer some of the same questions, yo. Thanks so much.
No problem.
And thank y'all for tuning in. Check us out on YouTube. Search for The Misbelief, one word on YouTube, and then subscribe at themisbelief.podbean.com to our podcast. And don't get nothing on you.
I want to know what your nickname is.
My nickname.
Yeah.
Shoot, in elementary, in high school, they used to always call me Hash Brown.
Hash Brown.
I was like, I knew it was. I was looking. I was like, I know what that name. They used to hit him with it, but I couldn't think of.
Oh, Hashim.
Oh, by the way, man.
That's a good one. I like that though.
Martin Bass Bradford, thank y'all so much.
Yes,
I like
indeed.
that.
We
You
gonna
can
see
play
y'all
off of
later.
that too.
Hash Brown. We gonna vote for Hash Brown. We gonna see y'all later. We see y'all later.